How's it going, guys? This is another episode of the Dominican Diaries 12. Welcome back to my channel. We have a special guest today, Sharon. Sharon, would you like to introduce yourself today?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. You know, and I'd probably say it a million times, I'm a talker. So I cannot believe that having seen your videos and met you remotely, I'm actually sitting beside you. It is an absolute pleasure. But yeah, so the official name that they gave me is Sharon. Sharon Sheriff White. The business is Sheri-Funtastic Travels and Resorts Limited. Yes, I know, long name, but it's coming from my pet name, which is Sheri.
Nice.
And incidentally, I discovered years later that Sheri is also a part of the first of my last name, which is Sheriff. Things to know. What can I tell you? So the official name would have been Sharon Sheriff, but the Sheri-Funtastic came about because Sheri loves fun.
Gotcha.
And so I was dedicated to the creation of fun. And so the company got its name Sheri-Funtastic Travels because we want to create fun for all our clients as they travel. So kind of straightforward if you break it down, you know?
Nice. Okay, that's good. That's good. So what brought you here to Dominican Republic?
Oh my goodness, that is such a good question. So, you know, life has a way of putting you through some turns and twists. And right after the pandemic and then trying to get the business back on the road, I was homebound because of mobility challenges. And somehow I felt trapped.
Okay.
I was working at my desk. I was literally stuck in the house. And I felt as though I needed more. I needed to get out. And so I was watching a lot of videos. Trying to scout out places that I could go and still move around safely. And somehow I got turned on to the DR. It didn't hurt either that there was no direct flight from Jamaica, because yes, incidentally, I am Jamaican.
Nice to know.
And so when I thought about it, I said, you know what? I'll go there for a little while. If I like it, we'll see what happens. If I don't, I will leave. And I also had a personal desire. My son never really got the ability to speak Spanish. And I've always said, once you're immersed, you'll get it.
Yes.
So I said, you know, let's go. Let's go to the DR. It's an hour and a half from Jamaica. Worst case scenario, we can hop on a plane and go back home. And so this is our second time around in the DR, and I am struggling because I don't know how I'm going to leave this place.
Wow, that's nice to hear. So the other thing is, we also took a day trip today. We were going to go to the Teleférico, but unfortunately, they were having maintenance. So we rode the train from one stop over to the end of the train line. So how did you like that experience, being on the train?
You know what? In Jamaica, we no longer have trains at all, and we certainly have no metro. So it brought back memories of when I lived in Spain as a teenager, and it was exciting. Even when you ride the train in the States, it's not as clean.
Yeah.
It's not as fun. I felt very safe.
Okay.
Sometimes riding the train in Manhattan, in New York area, I felt a little bit like I needed to hold my purse closer to me.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that at all.
It felt more friendly, right? It felt
yeah.
more.
And I made friends. Can I tell you? Listen, I had English language classes almost. It was really nice. It was a very good experience. And as a matter of fact, we were just talking that we can package it as a part of the tours that Sheri-Funtastic will be offering. And guys, I'm so happy to have met Junior because he's a gem. Ladies, he's an absolute gentleman. And I'm not trying to start anything here. I'm just being very honest, because when you see people who are so real, caring, and attentive, particularly when there's something not to 100 with you, as in my situation with mobility challenges. It's warming because then it makes me want to go out more. You're always afraid that somebody will be inconsiderate and you'll get in the way or you'll slow them down. But when that's not the case, you feel free again.
Exactly.
You feel the ability to just go on and enjoy. So yeah, it was wonderful. I wasn't even disappointed that the teleferico wasn't open. You know, the conversation was of such. I already see where my clients are going to have an amazing time with you because you know we feel your heart and it's just right there with us. It's wonderful.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. Like I said, I try to carry myself with with respect towards others. Sometimes you got to put yourself in other people's shoes, and I try to do that. Just care about the next person. The person you get, show them a good time, but also be respectful. So, what are your future plans here in Dominican Republic?
I see tons of potential here. I've been saying it that this is virgin territory.
Yes.
Everything that you could think of doing can be done here.
Okay.
Even if it already exists, you can bring out your whole new twist on it. The options are endless. Sometimes because you live here, if it's home for you, you're kind of blinded to opportunities.
Yes.
But here, we have seen that for the Dominican, we need to help them to see more of their country.
Yes, that's definitely.
For the Caribbean person, we need to help them to understand that there is so much here for us as other citizens of the Caribbean to come and see and do. You've got waterfalls, you've got culture, you've got history, you've got gastronomy, you've got miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of coastline. It's endless. So our real intent to be here is to develop a range of businesses offering from consultation services for relocation. Because believe you me, we're relocated. We have already made that decision. And we have gone through the rigors of figuring out how to relocate to the place where we know that that service is going to be so much easier. People are going to save time if we can present that roadmap, yeah? We want to help people to acquire real estate. No, we're not real estate agents, but there's so many projects being done here. We think that we can be that middle match.
Yes, if you're gonna, help them out.
We can help them out, certainly. And we'll never forget travel, because that is the mainstay. We are a travel company, we'll always be a travel company. And what a lot of people here do not know is that you have a ship porting from Norwegian cruise lines right here in the DR.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I know, right? So Christmas, New Year's, why do you want to spend that at home? Upon Norwegian sky, sailing from La Romana. As a matter of fact, from the 22nd of December, we start sailing 7 nights.
Nice.
Doing the Southern Caribbean. So we're going to Aruba, we're going to Bonaire, we're going to St. Kitts. Listen.
Guys, you got to listen. It's a nice cruise, so I would definitely take advantage. Another thing that Jamaica just passed, they made of what do you call it, where Dominicans could go to Jamaica visa free.
Yes,
can you talk about that a
gosh,
little
I'm
bit?
so excited about that because I found it a little interesting when I got here to discover that with my Jamaican Carico passport, I had visa free access. But the countrymen of the receiving country, the Dominican Republic, can't come to Jamaica.
Correct.
I thought that was a very unfair arrangement. And you think about it, with 7 flights, 1 flight a day to Jamaica from the DR, we're making friends.
Yes.
We're developing attachments. We want our new friends, our new connections to be able to easily come to Jamaica. So we're very, very happy when the Dominican High Commissioner, Ms. Angie, to Jamaica, decided to make the public announcement with our Minister of Tourism, Edwin Bartlett, declaring that effective the 4th of March 2025, no need for visas for passport holders from the Dominican Republic. That's a drum roll moment, guys.
That's a great thing, now Dominicans will have another opportunity to go to another country, another Caribbean country.
Correct.
Because we're all Caribbeans. Food might be different here and there, but we share one big thing, and that's the Caribbean Ocean.
And this is one thing I've heard as you're talking about food. I hear that Dominicans are falling in love with Jamaican food. A birdie told me that if we could get them to Jamaica.
Well, the reason I love Jamaican food because as a lot of you know, I did grow up in New York, and we have a lot of Jamaican restaurants. My favorite is beef patty with cocoa bread. That's like my favorite. We actually had a place called Golden Crush.
Oh yes, I know.
I was like one of their number one customers at the Golden Crush. So yes, definitely.
And if you think about it, we are less than 1 hour and 20 minutes away from SDQ, Las Americas Airport, and we're just under 2 hours from Punta Cana. So there are 3 flights from Punta Cana every week and 4 flights from SDQ every week. No excuse to go. With $200 you can get there and 200 back, so even less than 400 if you're just taking your backpack and a little carry-on. $400 take care of you for your flight, and you've got all of us, the team at Sheri-Funtastic, to help you with transportation, accommodation, gastronomy. We show your island, we take you to places you never imagined you could find in the Caribbean. But the best part about it, you get 180 days to stay in Jamaica.
That's nice. And you also mentioned, you were telling me before that Aerojet flies directly from Dominican Republic to Jamaica.
Correct.
That is a good thing.
And it's good because even in exchange of technology, processing, I know this is opening another door for the skilled people. Because now as a Jamaican company, we're able to take advantage of some of the skills that you all offer. It's 1, 2, 3 to get a work permit.
Yes.
I'm kind of talking into the future, but not really, because the future is now. Doors are opening. We're living in a global economy. And so if there's free movement of people and free movement of supplies and services, we're pulling ourselves together as a global market. Right here in the Caribbean, the dependency on North America becomes less. We become more self-sufficient. It's a win-win all the way around.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm excited about that. For
That's
sure.
I could definitely say I was, glad to meet you the other day. We sat, we talked, and like I said, I see a brighter future with yourself, your son, and I. In the company, seeing it grow. Because I want to grow. I'm the type of person I like to grow. So it's something I'm definitely looking forward to growing.
I'm very excited about it because, there's a saying that I've always subscribed to. You're one person away from that success that you want to achieve. And sometimes you have to move out of your comfort zone to meet that person, to reposition your goals. And sometimes that person might have the other piece of the puzzle that's going to propel you into a different future, into a life that's really made for you and is waiting for you. Now, I'm not speaking prophetically, but I'm on the hunt for like-minded people that we can grow with, we can build with. And we're solving problems that maybe the world doesn't even know yet that it needs. But when we do it, it's going to be well done. I'm excited. Absolutely.
Yes, I'm definitely excited. So you want to share your YouTube channel? You also mentioned you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, absolutely. So we've got 2 channels actually. The business has a straight business name. So it's Sheri-Funtastic Travels and Resorts Limited. We're also with that same name on Instagram. We also have a podcast segment that falls under the channel. We have it on the channel, but we have its own home on Spotify.
Okay.
And so that is called the Sweet Life Travel Podcast. We talk all things travel.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, I've got my personal channel where I talk about life, issues, thoughts, because you know what? Sometimes we forget that we're human beings because we're so interested in being professional. I talk about matters of the heart. I talk about my book. I have written 2 books. They're on Amazon, and I have 9 more to write. That's a story for another day, though. And so on the personal travel channel, it is Sheri Says. Literally, because Sheri has a lot to say.
Yes.
And so Sheri Says speaks about current issues. There are things now happening in the DR. Condolences, of course, for the jet set.
Yes.
Both survivors and the families for those who are in mourning. And we plan to put out a video this weekend, just kind of talking about the issues that occur when life unfolds.
Yeah.
And how we really need to live one day at a time.
It's true.
Appreciate life because it's promised to no one.
Tomorrow's never promised.
We got today. We got to make the most of it.
Yes.
And be kind to our fellow men. And that's pretty much all that it really matters. When it boils down, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Sheri, I will have your on the description. I will have your YouTube channels, so people can subscribe to your channel.
Absolutely, thank you.
I definitely appreciate you taking your time today. You know, we went on this day trip. We had a great time. I appreciate you taking your time out of your schedule, to meet with me and provide our subscribers some great information today.
And thanks for being an amazing host. I will go on trips with you all the time. Just say the word because there's more to see and I feel very safe with you.
Thank you.
And that is very important. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that also. All right, guys. Once again, if you need to contact Sheri, I will have the description. In the description below, I will have her YouTube name, YouTube information. Okay. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Let your other fellow members know how to contact us, all right?
Of course, and listen, I look forward to the growth of the Dominican Diary because we need more people showcasing all that the Dominican Republic has to offer. So thank you for doing your YouTube channel and for keeping it alive.
Thank you. Guys, once again, please like and subscribe. Till the next time. We're out.